Hello my beautiful beings and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a full face of either new makeup that's on the market or newly bought makeup, just stuff that I haven't bought before that I want to try out. I have a lot of goodies here, like I'm finally trying Glossier. I have a few things that are going to be used in this video from Glossier. If you guys want to see a full face, just let me know because I have a whole full face worth. I also have some new foundation, primer, just a lot of good stuff. I'm going to be leaving all the details for the products in the description box just in case you guys want to check it out. You know, if you think that you'd like it and you want to buy it, it'll all be in the description box on what I'm using today. I also am going to try and film throughout the day on how the makeup looks throughout the day for you guys. That way you guys can see if it'll wear well, if it lasts a long time, you know, if it's durable for the day. So I will definitely be trying to leave some clips in on how the makeup wore. So if this sounds like a video that would be interesting for you or something just entertaining for you guys to watch, then stick along for the video. Okay, so first off I'm going to go in with a primer. This is the new Milani SPF BFF primer. Apparently the look has changed. I used to have a different look. I have not tried this one yet, and I've never seen it before this. Like, I saw it at Target like a week ago. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this on, and it's great because it has SPF in it. So it's a primer and a sunscreen all in one, so when I do my skincare, I can even skip a step. Usually some SPFs can be a problem for me because they can make my skin really oily, or they can make my makeup kind of patchy and fade through the day. So we'll see how this one goes on. See if it makes me any oilier than I usually get throughout the day. And if you see my face getting red, I'm not having a reaction or anything to any products. My skin is just very sensitive, so even like touching it and rubbing it gets it a little red. It's completely normal. But it feels really nice. It doesn't feel really greasy in my skin. It's drying down really nice. It is a little tacky, but I don't mind tacky in a primer because it kind of helps hold down my makeup. Now for a foundation, I have the L'Oreal Paris Skin Paradise foundation. It's a water-infused tinted moisturizer. This also has SPF on it. It has SPF 19, which is a very interesting number. I've never had anything with like 19 on it. It also has aloe vera and witch hazel in it. Right away, I can tell the foundation is kind of dark, but we'll lighten it with concealer later. That's what I usually do. If a foundation is too dark for me, I'll just use concealer in a few places to make it look lighter. And I'll use less bronzer too. Right away, I mean, even though this is a tinted moisturizer, it has good coverage. Like, it's covering my red spots and like freckles and everything, which is great. I'm gonna blend that down my neck a little bit. Okay, next I have this Pretty Fresh Colourpop concealer, and again, this isn't like new, but this is something I've never tried and I just bought. It's hyaluronic creamy concealer, so it is gonna have hyaluronic acid in it, which is really great for like hydrating your skin again. I got a pretty light color. I thought it was gonna be a little bit darker looking at the picture online, but this is gonna be great because then it'll help lighten our darker foundation. Okay, so I did not find a new powder that I have liked recently, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna set everything off camera and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back and everything is now set. It did really well setting too. I used the Maybelline Fit Me powder to set most of the time. I don't really use a lot of different setting powders because a lot of them tend to have a tint in them that are too dark for my skin, but this one works really well for me. I almost always use this one. Moving on, I'm gonna do base products. So I have this bronzer. It's not extremely new, but it is a newer product. I haven't tried it yet. I bought it a little while ago, but it was still in its packaging, so I'm gonna try it now. And this is just an e.l.f. bronzer in the shade Forever Sun Kissed. And I'm just gonna grab my brush. And I start with patting motions, and then I'll blend it into the skin. Because I feel like if I just start blending, it gets very splotchy and uneven, and the color doesn't deposit very evenly. And that's actually not a bad color. It's a little too orange for what I like. I like more of like a brown, cool-toned bronze, but it's not too bad. Okay, next is blush, and again, I was at Target last week, and I found this. It's the Revolution, Makeup Revolution London Vintage Lace Blush. It's really beautiful. I don't know if this is extremely new or not. I've never seen this before in stores, but I think it's absolutely gorgeous. This one has kind of like a blue-purple flecks of glitter in it. Like, they all have glitter in them. If you're not a fan of glitter, I wouldn't buy this because they all have glitter in them. This one has gold glitters in it. This one kind of has like a lighter gold, like a white gold kind of glitter in it. And this one again has a gold in it. It has like green reflex though. But I think it's absolutely gorgeous. And grab my blush brush, and I think I'm gonna dip into this one today. And again, these are pretty pigmented, so if you like your blushes to look a little bit more natural, I would not go very heavy-handed on this. But the colors are really nice. Now that I'm done with blush, I'm gonna go into my highlight. This is the Makeup Revolution Soph palette. It is just a pretty highlighter palette. It's got all these different shades in them. This is probably gonna be my main shade. I feel like I can mix it with other shades, but I'm probably gonna stick more into this corner. But it's just beautiful. Like, the layout's really nice. The highlights look really nice. I just use, for a highlighter brush, I literally just use an eyeshadow pencil. This is the e.l.f. Fluffy Eye Blender brush. I actually have a few of these because I really like them. But I'm gonna dip into this one. And I think I'm gonna add a little bit of this one. And it's just so nice. Like, it's not a hardcore in your face highlight, but it's just very nice and like wet looking. Like, it's a very dewy, wet looking highlight. Okay, now moving into my eyes. I have two new palettes that I want to try and make a look out of. The first one is the Colourpop Fade into Hue palette. This is what the inside looks like. I couldn't resist after like seeing this palette, like the inside of it. I love playing with colorful eyeshadows. I know I do some neutral looks, but I just get really excited when I see all these different shades of colors and all these different types of eyeshadows. Like, there's glitters in here, there's shimmers, there is mattes, like just everything. Like, it just makes me want to play with it. So there's this one. And then I also picked another Makeup Revolution product. I honestly didn't use a lot of Makeup Revolution until they brought Makeup Revolution to Target. So when I saw all this stuff in Target, I was just really inspired to buy a lot of it and try a lot of it. So I have the Makeup Revolution Forever Flawless Infinity palette, and this is what the inside of that looks like. And again, it's just gorgeous. So I'm gonna start off with the shade Memories in this palette as my base color. And I'm just gonna put that all over the lid. And I have my mirror here, just in case I'm looking over here really often, so I can see what I'm doing. Now that I have my base on, I'm going to take the shade Lovecraft from this. And I'm just going to take it on the same brush. And I'm just going to work in this middle to inner corner of my eye. And just work it into there. Now I'm going to go into the shade Force. That's that pretty bright pink on this palette. And I'm going to take this brush. It's pretty much the same, just a little more dense than the other one. I'm going to start working that into the outer corner and blending it into that other eyeshadow. Alright, now that I have that hot pink applied, I'm going to go back into that shade Memories, and I'm just going to kind of blend everything out a little bit, kind of fluff it out, make sure there's no harsh edges anywhere. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get some concealer and I'm going to kind of just carve this out a little bit, make it look a little more clean. Alright, now I'm just going to take this concealer and I'm going to sharpen this. Just clean it up a little bit. Alright, next I'm going to take a little bit of this red shade just to deepen up the outer corner a little bit. So to do that, I'm going to take this brush. It's just a little shader brush. It's not very dense, but it's good for kind of packing on color, which I usually do on my outer corners. For some reason, it can be tough to get color on my outer corners every once in a while. Just depends on the eyeshadow. So I like to pack it into my outer corner. Okay, now that I have a traction on the inner corner, I'm going to take the shade Empathy, which is this really pretty kind of rose gold glitter shade. Come off really easily and it looks really nice. So I'm going to actually put that right on top of the inner corner, give it some glitter. Now I'm going to go in with the shade Prismatic and put that in the middle and kind of blend it in with that first shade. For my lower lash line, I'm just going to go in with the shade, I think that says Adelaide, this one right here, and I'm just going to use that flat brush again, just tuck it underneath my lash line. I'm going to take the Glossier mascara and just apply it to my lashes. Now I'm just going to line my top lash with this shade right here. It's called Connect. And I'm just going to take this little guy. It's a flat, small, dense brush. I use this for liner a lot. And I'm just going to slowly start adding it onto this edge. Alright, I have the brown eyeshadow on. I kind of did a little bit of a winged liner with it. I'm going to use this. I just bought this a little while ago. It is the Lemonhead LA Spacecase Pro Palette. This thing was pretty expensive, but it was definitely worth it. Like, look at all these glitters you get. And it's in a nice little palette for you, so it doesn't get messy, you don't lose it. Like, it's just really nice, and like, it's gorgeous. So I'm gonna take a little bit of this and I'm gonna put it into my outer corner, and it's really nice. It's very secure. Like, you get all of these clips. Like, it's amazing. So a little bit does come off, but that's okay because it'll go right back on top of the glitters. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this one just with my finger a little bit. And this is really pretty. It has like a blue purple reflect on it. And it just completes the look. Like, it's all just really glittery and pretty. And these glitters are like really amazing. Like I've had little pots of these glitters and they last all day. They don't come off. They don't go all over your face and your eyes. They just stick all day. It usually takes a good like oil-based cleanser to take them off. Yeah, I think this is really great. I think I'll be using this a lot. Like I like glitters a lot. I use a lot of different glitters. And I really like glitters that I don't have to fuss with or use a glue with to make it stay. It's gonna last a long time and not dry out because of this type of palette and how secure it is with these clips. And they even give you like a little pot of their little gel to kind of rehydrate the glitter. So I think this is definitely worth the purchase. I think if you're someone who uses glitter a lot or maybe even is a makeup artist and uses glitter on their clients, this is going to be a great purchase for you. Like I'm in love with it. I think it's great. All that's left is to do my lips and to set the face. So for lips, I'm just going to do something really simple. I'm going to use this Makeup Revolution Shimmer Balm, and this is the shade Daydream, and I think it's just gorgeous. Like you got a little bit of a pink tint in it, but it's got these gold and like purple reflex on it. And I can get it all in one swipe. And it feels really soft and really smooth. It doesn't have much of a pigment. I thought it would have a little bit more pigment than this. The reflect itself shows pretty nice on the gloss. Right, now for setting spray, I'm going to use the Milani Make It Last Sunscreen Setting Spray. I've used the regular Milani Make It Last. I really like that stuff, so I saw this and I figured I'd give this a try. So this is the one with sunscreen in it. Again, it has sunscreen, it's SPF 30, so a lot of products that I have bought have had sunscreen in them. So we'll see how my makeup lasts all day with all these sunscreen products. So I'm just going to give it a nice spray. Whoa. This definitely has a sunscreen smell to it, kind of like the spray sunscreen that you put on your body. It's pretty strong, so if you're not into that, I would not get it. It got in my mouth a little bit, so it's kind of gross. Not a big fan of the smell, but my makeup does look really nice. Like it looks very set down, it looks very smooth. It no longer looks really powdery from the setting powder that I used, so that's good. But yeah, not a big fan of the smell of this. That's pretty strong. I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go about my day. It was snowing outside, so I'll probably have to shovel, and I'll be taking my dog out throughout the day, and he'll be playing in the snow, and we'll be hanging out together. Keep putting in little check-ins throughout the day so you guys can see how my makeup wore through the day. And then at the end of the day, I'll come back and I'll give you guys a review of how I felt about the makeup. Okay, this is my first check-in of the day. Right now I am watching my little pupper. I just finished lunch. It is 12 o'clock. I put the makeup on at like 10 o'clock. So far, the makeup is still looking really great. Let me just pull back. The makeup is still looking really great. Lipstick is gone. I just ate. I didn't expect to stay on. It felt really nice the whole time I did have it on. But highlight, powders, eyeshadows are still looking really great. So yeah, everything's still looking pretty good right now. I'll do another check-in in a few hours and I will let you know how the makeup is held up then. Alright, it is now 4 o'clock. The little guy and I just woke up from a little nap. So I was napping and makeup still looks really good. It did rub off a little bit where I was sleeping, but it's still visible. It's not patchy or anything. The eyeshadow still looks really good. The glitters are still staying in place. So yeah, so far I'm still really liking how the makeup looks. I'll be back in for a final checkup probably around 6 o'clock before I take my makeup off. Okay, so I'm back for my final check-in. This is how the makeup is looking right now. It's not looking the greatest. It is 6 o'clock, so it's been like 8 hours. It's rubbed off a good bit over here. It's starting to look really patchy around here and here. I think it might either be because of the sunscreen primer or because of the sunscreen setting spray. I'm not really sure which one. So I wouldn't say that these are really my favorite right now. I think I'm going to try it with a different foundation. I think I'll try the primer by itself and the spray by itself to see if maybe it's one or the other. but I think that's the problem. I think it's rubbing off and it's looking greasy because of one of those two. I think I like this. Where it's not rubbed off, it still looks really nice. I think I'll give it a go with a different primer, and I'll update you guys about that in the description box. So, definitely not a fan of these. I'll give this another shot. The eyeshadow is looking really good. Some of the glitter from these palettes has fallen off. It's kind of fallen down onto my eyes. I don't know if you can really see it, but this has stayed in place the whole time. Like, it's still there. Yeah. See, you can kind of see that the other glitter has fallen on my bottom eye. But the Spacecase one, it's still on there, it's still intact, it hasn't budged, which I think is great. So I'm probably gonna try these more often. This guy, it's still on there too. The glitters are gone now, but the color itself from the blush is still there. My highlight is still on too. It's rubbed off a little bit from when I was napping, but it's still on there. So really happy with that. This guy, I don't know, I don't hate it, but I don't really love it either. Like, it's just not for me, but it held on all day really well. It's just I'm not really a fan of the shade or the pigmentation. So if you like something that's in the shade and it's pigmented, then you would definitely want to try this out, but it's not really for me. And this, it came off when I ate lunch, but it's really moisturizing. It feels really good on my lips, so I would have to reapply it, but I still really like it. So yeah, I would, out of everything, I would definitely recommend these two and this. These are my absolute favorites. These, you could probably live without, but I really like them too. I'm glad I bought them. But yeah, this is my final check-in. This is how everything wore, and it's my thoughts on my product. Alright, this is all I have for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye! Did again last week. I'm gonna take this brush. It's just a little shader brush. The shade Empathy. It's this really pretty kind of rose gold glitter. Shimmer Balm, and it's a loss. And it can make